Hi guys, it's Alessandra and I'm going to be doing a Christmas mukbang. I'm just going to discuss some Christmas specials I've seen that I personally enjoy. And I'm going to be discussing the show Santa Inc., which is now free on Tubi. It was completely missing in 2022 because apparently no one liked it. But now it's free on Tubi and I watched it and I actually think it's pretty good and that everyone was just hating on it for no reason. But let's not forget why we're really here, and that's because it's Jesus' birthday. I even put it up over my American Dad poster, even though American Dad has a lot of good Christmas specials. Alright, I'm going to start my mukbang. But first, let me actually tell you what I'm going to drink and eat. I have a cherry seltzer. Not really a Christmas thing, but I like it. I have eggnog. I have these things from Lidl that like they only have during special holidays, which is like not marzipan. What's that thing that starts with a P that's like marzipan, but it's like different seeds? Anyway, it's that with like jelly and a cake that kind of tastes like pfeffernusse and chocolate. The dark chocolate ones are vegan, not the milk chocolate ones. And then I have my homemade seitan, mashed potatoes, and some purple cauliflower. I know that's not the Christmassiest meal, but it's comfort food, so it like counts. My head's cut off, but I don't want to go further away because this is like the best angle I've ever gotten the food at. I'm gonna try it with my head temporarily getting cut off, and if you guys hate that, write in the comment section that you freaking hate that, and I'll do a better angle or try to raise the food up. Like, I don't know what I'll do. Okay, and this is Pepper. She's bipolar, so I don't want to like lean back too often. Like, look at. Okay, and I mean, she literally. What does she take? Yeah, see, Pepper Pet. But it doesn't say my address anywhere, right? Okay, yeah. No, I can't see without my glasses if it shows in the camera. But it says Pepper Pet and it's amitriptyline, 10 milligrams, but she only takes half the tablet, so. Okay. Now let's start with the mashed potatoes. So I just watched all of the other reindeer. And they have like a lot of adult jokes in there, so that like made me interested in like the kids book it was based on, which is free on YouTube, someone's just reading it. And the children's book like has no details in it, or maybe they left them out for YouTube, and I'm like, how did they make this into a 45-minute special with like so many other characters? Like they didn't even mention like Olive's owner, but like it's funny because there's something in the kids book about her being too shy to sing, but that little dog, she sings her heart out in the 45-minute Christmas special. So talented. So like, if you don't know the special, it's like Olive is this dog. She hears on the radio that they're looking for all of the other reindeer, and she's all like, oh my gosh, they need me because someone's injured, which isn't even how the book goes, but that's how the special goes. And I don't want to give too much away, but it's one of my favorites. They don't mention religion. I should have got the smaller. In all of the other reindeer, they don't really mention religion at all, but it's still pretty good. But like I was saying, if you Tubi, which almost everyone should because it's free, you have to give Santa Inc. a try. It takes place over a full year. It has like a lot of inclusivity. They discuss Muslim holidays. One of the elves is Jewish, like the main elf is Jewish. I don't really know why people hate it on the show. I guess because it discussed feminist topics. You're such a little pervert. But like it ended on a cliffhanger and that's killing me. By the way, I have ADHD, so I'm gonna talk about each show that, like, Christmas special I've watched the past month. And then, like, stop talking about it and going back to it. I can't really think of a Christmas movie I like. I think I just like the specials. The movie's like so long. Oh, I am such a liar. I love Elf. They were like gonna make a sequel to the movie Elf, where he had a daughter with that cute checkout girl, and like him and the daughter get in a fight, but then they ended up not making the sequel. Because the script wasn't very good. But like Elf is just so iconic because like it really shows you that size doesn't matter. Because he was raised as an elf and he like, I love the way he comes to meet his birth father by literally just walking, like he gets on an iceberg and like just walks through Canada somehow, no passport, and just like across the US border, just this tall guy, and I'm like in an elf costume, and I feel like if I like lived by the border, I'd be a little more like, oh, because it was like a month before Christmas, I'd be like, why is someone in an elf costume like strolling through my backyard? Like, were people not curious? But like, it's just funny. I don't know if you guys saw my review last year where I reviewed a really weird Christmas movie and then a traditional Christmas movie. But I put my Hello Kitty doll on a cat tree and then put my camera on a high table behind that because I don't have a camera stand. That works. And I did what's called forced perspective. So like, it looked like the Hello Kitty was really big, even though it was just like a regular sized one. Like, look how big that looks compared to. It looks like it's my size. So that's that's actually a trick they used in the movie Elf to make it look like he was so much bigger than everyone else. Up here purring is so soothing. Unlocking Jesus. I put vegetable stock in the mashed potatoes. I know that sounds weird, but I used to see people use chicken stock, so. I tried vegetable stock and I like it. You could use like oat milk or something. I feel like this year, the guy's cauliflower is much harder to cut. So as you guys know, I'm a fan of American Dad. My American Dad poster is right underneath that picture of Jesus in his manger. And like one of the wise men coming up. It's just funny. Now the American Dad Christmas specials aren't like completely like really canon, but they're like canon with each other, which is like weird, and Santa freaking hates them. Santa hates them so much. Like, they just, every year, they just do something to piss off Santa. Stan and his family can't get it together. I think one year it was so bad Jeff ended up being the one who saved them. Like Jeff, who's like the dumbest character. Although I guess maybe none of them are really that smart. I feel like I need to cut this more, but I'm just gonna put it in my mouth. Right? There was that one American Dad Christmas special where instead of pissing off Santa, there's just like a rapture. No, I don't know if that one's a Christmas special. What was I gonna do? Watch all of them? But I mean I have, but just for this like mukbang. Ooh, that made me dizzy. But there's one Christmas special where instead he's visited by the ghost of Christmas past and like all the other ghosts, but he like runs through the timeline and screws everything up, and the whole point was to see why he was a messed up child. I think Francine gets involved somehow because they stopped an assassination attempt. All the American Dad ones are crazy, but what bothers me is, like, even though I love adult animation and stuff, I, like, kind of, like, get annoyed that God's never mentioned in a lot of the Christmas specials. Like, who's that angry red fox from Sanrio who has a Netflix series? Aggrasucro? I can't pronounce it. Aggressive Sucro? But, like... Anyway, they have a Christmas special, and it takes place in Japan where almost no one's Christian or Catholic, so they're literally admitting in the special that they're just about the commercialism, and they're talking about other holidays they rather celebrate instead of Christmas sometimes because they get, like, defeated. But at the end of the day, Christmas is about love and stuff, so I'm, like, as a Christian, was, like, annoyed, but I also know that most of my friends, like, who do not believe in God, celebrate Christmas, so I also feel like I should mind my own business. And to be honest, Jesus Christ was born in spring. We just celebrate his birthday around now because we don't remember what date he was born. And also when we were making like other religions convert to Christianity, like a lot of them were getting sad, they were losing their traditions. So we like kind of, that's why we have Christmas trees, even though that doesn't make sense for Jesus' birthday. It's because we wanted them to feel more included and feel like they weren't losing themselves. Also, it made people convert willingly, which was cool. But, like, if you don't know, that's kind of why it's, like, green and red. That doesn't really represent Jesus, but, like, it's because, like, when people converted from, like, their different pagan religions to Christianity, they wanted to keep celebrating, like, the Yule traditions and all that stuff while still celebrating, like, Christ's birth. I mean, Santa is some stuff they made up, but not them. Like, that one came much later. But for the most part, most of our Christmas traditions don't really have anything to do with Jesus or his birth. It's more about, like, people who were formerly not Christian now feeling comfortable being Christian. They should make a special about that. I bet the guys from South Park would do, like, a funny but informative job. Oh my god, you know Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo? I don't want to really discuss him because I'm like eating food, but the South Park Christmas specials are just over the top. And one of the South Park Christmas specials. One of the South Park Christmas specials, I believe the first one, was like the first time, like, Kenny went through an entire episode without dying. So kudos to you, Kenny. I remember at the end of the episode, like, spoiler alert, he's like literally just sees that he's not dead and he's like, and it's like, yeah, it's a Christmas miracle. Thank you, Jesus, whose birth we're celebrating even though you were born in the spring. I do kind of like want to see holiday specials represent other religions, just because I think it's not fair to like kids that are brought up like not Christian to be forced to just watch a bunch of like Christian media, but at the same time almost none of the holiday specials have anything to really do with God, so that probably makes those kids feel a lot more comfortable watching them. I know at least 2 of my Jewish friends said they liked Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So that's cool. And I liked the, what was it, Passover Rugrats special? Oh, Rugrats had a weird Christmas special once Kimmy was added. And I don't even really, I think the one before that, they're like having a hard time finding someone to play Santa and get people to like believe in Santa. So the brothers decide one of them will dress up, or that they'll hire a professional and like they fight or whatever. And then at the end, the real Santa comes and gives Angelica like what she wants, but there's like a lump of coal. And I left a bunch of details of the episode out because in case you haven't watched the original Rugrats, I want you to see that episode and not have it be completely spoiled. You know. But back to Santa Inc. Like that. I think it's a good show. I can't believe it got so much hate. I love it when people discuss feminism in adult cartoons, but people need to understand when you're discussing feminism in adult cartoons, it's going to be exaggerated for comical effects, and I think that's what, like, people didn't get. They're like, oh, it's so exaggerated. I'm like, well, yeah, it's a cartoon where there's a Jewish elf with purple skin. Of course it's exaggerated. What did you think it would be? Like, it wouldn't be silly if it was, like, realistic. Not that I guess there's a real Santa. Unless you live in the Futurama universe where there's a Santa bot who just goes around and kills people. Like, literally. Everyone in the Futurama universe, like, hides. Wait, I think I'm gonna pause this and heat my food up more. Like I said, in Futurama, there's this crazy robot who's like Santa bot or whatever the hell. And like, he wants to kill everyone. Everyone's on his naughty list except 1 year Zoidberg wasn't. I'm not gonna say what present he got because I'm sure most people saw this episode, but just in case you didn't. But like, he's a psycho killer. And I don't know why he was invented. Like, maybe he was like made for the stores. Like, they did do an update episode with the Hulu version of Futurama, but I only watched it once and don't remember it. It's like it came out way before Christmas because they dropped just 10 episodes at once. So this was like months ago. Or a month, 3, I don't know. I don't remember when Hulu Futurama came out. But, yeah. Last night, not the I wanted dog for Christmas Charlie Brown, but last night, my mother and I watched like 3 different Charlie Brown Christmas specials, and they had like Bible verses in all of them, and it was good because they actually discussed like what the holiday's really about, but without like shoving it down your throat like those creeps on Facebook. They're all like, well, this is everything about my religion that I think should dictate the laws of our country, even though no one's religion should dictate, like, the laws of our country. Like, if other people want to practice what I'm not practicing, that is fine, as long as they are not, like, harming anyone. I know a lot of religions are really more like cults that abuse children. I mean, you saw, like, on Oprah 20 years ago, when they, like, had to take all the children away from that, like, fake Mormon like cult because they were like being sexually abused and married off as children. They were reunited, but like I don't think they should have, and like whatever. But like the Charlie Brown Christmas specials are good because they mention God, but they don't like shove him down your throat. Now, the VeggieTale Christmas specials would obviously be religious on purpose, but I haven't seen any of them yet because I wasn't really raised religious. But I saw that it was free on YouTube and I was like, should I watch it before my mukbang? But I was hungry and I've been alive 34 years and I think you 3, maybe 4, you start developing memories, so I didn't know if I really needed to watch any more Christmas specials to make this video. The cauliflower is hard to cut with a butter knife. I really need to get a steak knife. I guess I could boil it instead of roast it. I like roasted cauliflower. Yeah, so I watched the original Charlie Brown Christmas special and then 2 others. And like we skipped the really new one. We watched like the one that was made in, I believe, 94. And there was another one like in 2000. I wish I remember the names of them. It wasn't on Apple TV, but I don't know if Apple TV shows your history. Because I turn on the TV to look. But of course we watched the original Charlie Brown Christmas special. You know, Christmas time is here. Snoopy ruins everything as we skate. I might be paraphrasing Nelly Christmas, but he really messes up their skating fun. Okay, so dyslexia, this is gonna take a while. Oh no, apparently Charlie Brown Christmas is so popular I just had to type in a C. Okay. So it's a Charlie Brown Christmas is the original. So maybe if I click on it, it'll see the other ones I watched. It's Christmas Time Again, Charlie Brown I watched. I Want a Dog for Christmas I skipped, but I've seen that one before. It's the longest. And it's like a cohesive story like the first one, but like it's about Linus's little brother. So it's like, okay, whatever. I don't really... boring character. Although I don't think he needs to be written off. It's just like, whatever. So it's Christmas Time Again. Charlie Brown was like different skits. And if I remember correctly, like, Linus has a crush on this girl who changes her name like every day. Oh wait, no, maybe Charlie Brown Christmas Tales was the one that was like, they were both like all skits instead of a cohesive story, but one of them, Linus like has a crush on a girl who changes her name every day, and it just like drives him all like up the wall, like just stop talking to this girl. Okay, so Charlie Brown Christmas Tales came out in 2002 and it's only 17 minutes. So. Maybe that was the one from Nickelodeon. I think Nickelodeon had Charlie Brown when I was little, like original ones, but maybe I'm lying. And it's Christmas Time Again, Charlie Brown is 22 minutes. Yeah. So those are the ones we watched. There's also like, there's new Snoopy, which is Charlie Brown obviously. Shows that have their own Christmas specials, but my mom and I were like, the same thing with I Want a Dog for Christmas. We were like, no, that's not the Charlie Brown we want to see. And like I said, I like it because they mention God, so you know, like, is the reason for the season, but it's not like all religious. It's like you could just go to church. Like you could just go to church or like watch The Chosen if that's just what you want, was like a lecture about God and like, you know? Plus, it's good to have it not be too religious, so like other people who maybe don't have a lot of streaming services, or back when it was like live TV, could like watch it if they're not Christian and still be like, okay, that was entertaining. Like it has to be entertaining also, which is why I want to watch VeggieTales, because I hear VeggieTales like kicks butt. Such good taste, damn. It's the one for my recipe video. I just put barbecue sauce in it. And Charlie Brown, and now I want to like search Charlie Brown. I have my remote and I'm looking at my TV. Oh, maybe it's only 4 of them. And then like just episodes from the actual series. That's still like an insane amount. I mean, I guess the first one came out in 1966. Came out in 1965. It was like released without a laugh track. But the network was like, oh, no one's going to want to watch Charlie Brown without a laugh track. You need to add a laugh track. So they made a laugh track, but aired the Charlie Brown special the way it was meant to be aired. And they were like, okay, if people complain, we're going to air it again with a laugh track. But of course, no one was like, oh, yeah, we need a laugh track. Everyone who watched it was like, oh my god, what a great Christmas special. What an absolute delight. I assume is what they said, verbatim. But like, it's just funny that they had a laugh track lined up. And there was even a rumor that there was a Charlie Brown Christmas special. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it called a Charlie Brown Christmas? Yeah. It's funny that there's like rumors that there was a version of it with the laugh track, but they never actually did that. They just set it up in sync and then never put it into an episode. Because they were like, maybe we won't need it. So I bother re-editing an episode, because back then it was a pain in the butt. You use the film. Cold, or did you hiss because I leaned back? Oh, Wally's walking around. Is that what's... Wally, come to mommy. No, he's not. Yeah, like the other 2 Charlie Brown Christmas specials I watched were just like segments. Charlie Brown's sister and one of them thought that it was called Samantha Claus and that she was writing to a woman. And she goes to Charlie Brown the next day like, I was so embarrassed, why didn't you tell me? They sound the same. And it's like, they don't sound that much the same. It's like Charlie Brown's sister is just a child or something. Of course she is. That was one of the few shows that was voiced by actual children back then. It's pretty common now, but like maybe it shouldn't be because of some of the abuse from the networks. But from what I've heard, everyone who worked on Charlie Brown, like all the child actors, none of them have come out with abuse stories, so that means they were probably all treated really well, and that like makes me really happy. Like, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear everyone was treated well, and everything went well, and everyone had a delightful time. Like, that's what I want to hear. So, the Billy and Mandy Band Christmas special is airing again on Adult Swim. Which now starts at 6 o'clock. Which sounds too early, but like at 6 o'clock they do like kids cartoons that like we grew up with and would have nostalgia for it. That are like maybe like not for little kids, like they're like Y7 or PG, but like it's children's PG, like how Shrek is a children's PG. And The Simpsons is more of an adult PG, but your kids can still watch it and it's fine. I've always had a bad nose, so I would always blow my nose like all the time. It's called post-nasal drip. Yeah, so like, I forgot what I was just talking about, so I'm gonna talk about The Simpsons. Originally, their first episode, like the first premiere full-length episode, not from like the Tracy Ullman show, which I've seen a few skits from and it's cute. I didn't pronounce the name right, but you find it. Like, their first episode was a Christmas special because their real first episode where they had an evil babysitter was like, animated badly, and people were like, should we air this as the first one? So it's kind of weird, like, oh, we're premiering a show and it's their Christmas special. Like, that's just insane. But yeah, they find Santa's little helper, as you all know, because they're gambling. And that's, like, basically what set the Simpsons, like, apart from other shows. Was like, their first episode was so sentimental that you forget that they fight in, like, almost every other episode. And they've had a few Christmas episodes. Though the one that really sticks out to me is just, like, the one where they get Santa's little helper. And Homer has to dress up like Santa for reasons that are not within his power. Like, not something it was like a necessity for him. You can watch the episode yourself. It's the first episode of The Simpsons, so it's right there. Season 1, episode 1. Come to a Vegan Everywhere channel, where we tell you the very end of the episode, but not what led up to it, because we don't want to hear spoilers. Pepper gets it. You respond to your name? Pepper. I guess not. Time is like, okay. But like my first point, I really think everyone should go to Tubi and just give, like, Santa Inc. a chance. It really was a good show, and it really had a good message. But it's also, like, dirty humor, which I like, but not, like, too raunchy or, like, creepy, and it still has sentimental moments. And it feels a little rushed, but, like, instead of having, like, a 10-episode season like most American shows have, they only gave them 8 episodes. And, like, really, when I say most American shows have 10, I mean, like, networks that are less popular or have lower budgets, like, they're not owned by someone, have, like, 10 episodes. I just heard Wally knock something over, but I'm gonna ignore that for now. Wally, you good? I had to know what he knocked over. It was my knickknacks in my bedroom. But Santa Inc., like, even though it does discuss other holidays because it takes the, like, course over a whole year, there's, like, a Halloween episode, and there's even other religions, like, acting as interviewers. Like, it's just, I don't know why everyone online got so angry about it. I saw it on Tubi, and I'm like, oh, okay. Let me see why this show stinks. Watch the first episode, and I was like, no, this isn't that bad. And, like, I think people don't realize that TV is an exaggeration. Like, just like even in movies, the way guys ask girls out, you're like, no, that wouldn't have, no. But I like Santa Inc. a lot. I'm gonna put, like, some mashed potatoes on the last bit of steak. Pepper has abandoned me. You know who did a Christmas episode every year and it actually almost like pisses me off because it's a British show and they only have like 6 episodes the first season and then 7 the others? It's the UK version of Ghost. And like all their Christmas episodes I kind of blur together because I like chain watched the show. Well, I chain watched the Christmas episodes because normally like if it's like a certain season I just want to watch everything at once. So I was like, okay. And I'm just like, it's kind of sad because there's only 6 episodes and they're not doing like the US one does like Halloween specials and stuff. But they could only do Christmas specials because like there's such short seasons of like the UK version of Ghost. I remember in one of the specials, the husband's family brought all the food for Christmas, and they're like, oh, it's just a couple of sides, and it was like a full like entree, and like 6 sides. It was like insane. And all the ghosts are like, oh, that smells so good. And of course, like, the couple's like freaking out. They're like, my family's annoying us and only the woman can speak to the ghost. So she's like, you know, tell me what they're saying, like... Oh no, that was a different episode. In this episode, like, the one who was a shitty dad decides that he's annoyed that there's a baby staying in his room, even though he's a ghost, and he doesn't even really need to sleep. And then he has, like, a sweet bonding moment with the baby, and he, like, regrets, like, not being there for his, like, kid. And you think maybe that's when he would get sucked off, which is what they call going to heaven, because a lot of the ghosts are really old, so that wasn't a bad thing to say. And, that doesn't happen. It's like, they're good Christmas specials, it's just annoying when it's like only 6 or 7 episodes a season, and after 5 seasons you're done, because, like, the BBC really, like, they don't give a lot of episodes for their shows, they, like, give, like, nothing. So the purple cauliflower. Now, Pepper, you back? It is time for your medicine. There's a car alarm going on outside. Pepper, can you say a Christmas special? So my mom had me watch, I don't remember the name of the movie, but last year we watched the Lindsay Lohan Christmas movie, and it's like kind of funny because normally it's just like classic, like you go to your hometown and fall in love, and this kind of follows that format, except she like gets amnesia and falls in love, so it's like, was it amnesia or was she pretending? No, I think she had amnesia. In the Lindsay Lohan Christmas movie, did she have amnesia? And also, what was the name of it?
external observer. They can identify a class.
What is the name of the Lindsay Lohan Christmas movie?
Falling for Christmas is a 2022 movie directed by Janine Damian, starring Lindsay
Nice.
Lohan, Cord Overstreet, and Eliana Lohan. Falling for Christmas is a 2022 movie directed by Janine Damian, starring Lindsay Lohan, Cord Overstreet, and
Interesting.
Eliana Lohan.
Interesting that they say it twice. In Falling for Christmas, does she like get amnesia?
Here's what I found on the web.
I'm just going to assume that I remembered it perfectly, because it seemed like she was like learning stuff in the movie. So did anyone like grow up watching Nickelodeon? I know it sounds annoying, but I want all the potatoes. Because I just remember like, and there's a few Christmas specials featuring them. But I just remember like SpongeBob. Oh, the seltzer's done. I just remember SpongeBob learning about Christmas from Sandy. And Sandy tells them how, like, all about Santa Claus and the giving gifts part. And they have the longest song. This Christmas feels like the very first Christmas to me. I think Mr. Krabs does this weird solo. It's funny because they're underwater and they have like all these Christmas lights, and I'm like, Pepper, you'll get food in a second. I believe they did a claymation one too. I think I only saw that one once because I was like older, and I just like only watched it because I was like, well, I used to like the show. Well, like you could see the layers. I remember they were really worried that like they were gonna get skipped by Santa. Pepper. You can't be interrupting me. Do you want to take your medication now? Because you don't get to eat until you take it first. Oh, now we're gone? I should actually take it out so I can give it to her later. I remember someone forced me to watch a Family Guy Christmas special, and they like literally showed the elves as like inbred nightmare creatures, and I was like, what on earth is happening? How is this even like what you would make for Christmas? Obviously, you don't remember that one fondly. then they like put a song in it, and I was like, oh my god, did you not? I think probably the weirdest Christmas special I watched was this one with like a mouse, and it's just a one-off Christmas special, and he's like obsessed with books, and it didn't even make sense. But that reminds me of this like Disney Christmas special that I've seen, where it's like what's the one where he's visited by 3 ghosts? Anyway, they do that with Mickey Mouse, but let's talk about A Christmas Story. Since that's on air for 24 hours almost every year, except for like the 2 or 3 random years where they showed Elf. A Christmas Story is a weird Christmas movie because, like, and I know that's controversial, but like, it's like basically pro-bullying. Like, I know bullies were more around back then, but like, none of them stand up. Like, you're 4 kids, like, do something. And like, the weird part about it is it's not like, even though it's a Christmas movie, I feel like it takes place like over the course of a couple of days. So you're like almost like it's more about like the commercialism of Christmas than Christmas. And I also just like remember that weird lamp. You guys know exactly, if you've seen the movie, you know exactly what lamp, like that horror lamp. Like from someone's nightmare. It's just like a leg and it's like a stalk. And it like looks very sexual, and I'm like, oh no. Like, who would buy that for you? If any of my friends did that, I'd be very sad. And the whole you'll blow your eye out if you get a BB gun, and then what happens? I think the best part is when he has to put on his like custom made pajamas and pretend he's happy. He's like, I don't really want to be wearing this right now. Like, that's not what he says. There's a sequel. I want to see it. I should actually see it. And obviously it takes place much later. He's like a grown adult in it. If you've seen A Christmas Story 2 and you think it's worth watching, leave a comment saying, yeah, totally watch that. Or, you know, phrase it differently. You don't have to. The algorithm might actually think it's great if everyone comments the same thing. Oh, and I remember them like ruining their meals so they go out for Chinese food. That's who's open during holidays. They're always going to be there for you. Like fast food Chinese style restaurants. Like God bless them. They had like the duck, and they were like, oh no, the head's on the duck. And I'm like, well yeah, it's me. It had a head. But that's just my vegan mindset. I'm like, duh, it has a head. But they felt uncomfortable, so the guy just chops it off in front of them, like, cha. And they're like, eek. And I'm like, well, what did you think? Like, what? Like, how do you think he was gonna remove it? But it's like very wholesome other than like that. I also remember him trying not to slide down the slide. He like gets nervous and doesn't tell Santa what he really wants. And he just like goes like this, and he's like, I don't know why this Santa was on a throne and there was a slide. Like, is that something they used to do back in the day? Oh, by the way, I finished all the little cakes. Is that something they really used to do all the, like in the day? Like, make you climb to see Santa and then slide down the slide. Anyway, he just like spreads like this. And he's like, no, this is what I really want. And then Santa's like, yeah, no, and just kicks. No wonder they show it almost every year for 24 hours. I think a lot of people probably have that movie memorized. Anyway, I just finished my eggnog. So thank you for watching this Christmas mukbang. My name's Alessandra. I hope everyone has a good day. And Tubi is a free app. Just give Santa Inc. a chance. It is a good show. It ended on a cliffhanger, and it deserves redemption. If Chloe and High can come back, like, was it over a decade later or exactly a decade? So 20 years later? So much later! I think it was 20 years later. Then, like, Santa Inc. can come back. And also People of Earth, even though, like, that isn't anything to do with Christmas. I just think the show should. Alright, thank you guys for watching.